Today we'll be taking a look at Sonya Deville's story, Seth Rollins, and an interesting report from Sports Illustrated about Roman Reigns. Don't forget to check out the WWCC Shorts channel, link is below. So let's start things off with a small update to Sonya Deville's story. This is still a very small storyline on SmackDown right now, basically just a background storyline, but it has the potential to turn into something big, so that's why we're keeping a close eye on it. But this storyline just basically seems like Sonya Deville will eventually break away from Adam Pearce and take all the power to run SmackDown. That's at least what the teasers for this storyline have been hinting at so far. We saw it last week where Sonya Deville was very vocal about not being happy with Daniel Bryan being included in the WrestleMania main event. That was really the first time we saw her blow up on Adam Pearce like that. Well, this week, Sonya Deville's teaser was more subtle, but it was definitely still there. This moment came when Cesaro approached Sonya Deville and Adam Pearce backstage. Cesaro approaches Sonya Deville and Adam Pearce about wanting a match with Roman Reigns. You'll notice that Adam Pearce was a bit nervous and hesitant to answer Cesaro right away, but Sonya just steps right in and answers Cesaro before Adam Pearce could even find his words. Sonya was all cool and said that she'll look into it and talk to Paul Heyman and Roman Reigns. So again, it was a small, subtle moment, but it tells us a lot. It tells us that maybe Sonya Deville is ready to take over. She's not nervous, and she's even speaking before Adam Pearce does. So it shows a lot about the character and where she's at right now. When she first came back in this assistant role, she was quiet, had a few things to say, but now it's as if she's taking charge ahead of Adam Pearce. So it's not a massive storyline right now, but it is something to pay close attention to whenever Adam Pearce and Sonya Deville are on screen, both together. You'll notice a lot of subtle moments like that, so we'll see if this goes anywhere and what it's leading to. SmackDown had a lot of big moments this week, including Cesaro stepping up to confront Roman Reigns. Obviously, it's great to see Cesaro possibly being involved in the title picture for a world title. That is obviously long overdue, so it was great to see the first few teasers of that. Paul Heyman and Roman Reigns don't think that Cesaro is worth their time, so they sent Jey out to face him in SmackDown's main event. But Seth Rollins appears and attacks Cesaro during the closing moments of the match. Seth Rollins speaks from the ramp and says that he's not done with Cesaro at all, and that he just got lucky at WrestleMania. But that's not so important. The important line was what Seth Rollins said towards the closing moments of the show. Seth Rollins says that he is the end-all, be-all of this industry. He said that line twice within the closing moments and then tweeted it as well. What fans aren't talking about that much is how that very well could be a shot at Roman Reigns. When Paul Heyman goes off listing all of Roman Reigns' nicknames, you'll notice that Heyman always refers to Roman as the end-all, be-all as well. So that was Roman's nickname first. Now you have Seth Rollins closing out SmackDown by saying that he is the end-all, be-all. How does Roman Reigns feel about that line from Seth Rollins? Roman had to be watching that match closely because it included his cousin Jey and someone that was trying to challenge him. So he definitely heard what Seth Rollins said. And it isn't the first time Seth has said something like that either. Seth has been saying that he's number one, he's the only SmackDown leader, and now he's calling himself the end-all be-all, which is disrespectful shots against Roman Reigns, with Seth Rollins basically not acknowledging Roman at all. And we all know how Roman feels about people disrespecting him and not acknowledging him. It's like the number one way to tick him off, so why hasn't he addressed these things Seth Rollins has been saying? That's what we really don't know. Maybe Roman Reigns only addresses people that step up to him for the title, and that's why he's been ignoring what Seth Rollins has been saying, because Seth hasn't stepped up to him for the title yet. But it does feel like a small plot hole that Paul Heyman, Jey, or someone else hasn't gone to Roman Reigns yet about what Seth Rollins has been saying and claiming about himself. Could it be a very first teaser for Roman Reigns versus Seth Rollins? It definitely appears like it is, but that's probably going to be a feud we see a few months from now. As far as the Universal title picture goes, things are a bit foggy at this current moment. Cesaro stepped up to Roman Reigns, but Seth claims that he isn't done with Cesaro. So, does Cesaro go back to finish that feud with Seth Rollins? If so, where does that leave the Universal title picture? Could Edge and Daniel Bryan get another shot at the title? That's a possibility for sure. Edge and Daniel Bryan were not at SmackDown this week to sell the damage they took from WrestleMania's main event. But with the next pay-per-view event being titled WrestleMania Backlash, it sounds like we could see a lot of rematches. Bobby Lashley vs. Drew McIntyre has already been confirmed for Backlash. So, maybe Edge could finally get this one-on-one match with Roman Reigns, while Cesaro wraps things up with Seth Rollins. And then, Cesaro could step into the title picture after that. Something similar to the situation seems to be where we're headed to for sure. But we'll see if Cesaro will get his world title opportunity in the coming weeks. So let's get into this interesting article from Sports Illustrated. The report claims that there was such a great backstage reaction and fan reaction to Sasha Banks vs. Bianca Belair's match at WrestleMania that WWE will be treating the SmackDown Women's Championship as the main priority and storyline on SmackDown, with Roman Reigns' story now taking a backseat to the SmackDown Women's Championship. This report didn't cause an argument among the fans, but it did open up a discussion. The one thing that Roman Reigns has perfectly intact right now is his story and his character. Everything is there. They've done a phenomenal job of building this new character and this whole entire story around. Yeah, fans joke that Roman can't beat anyone at all now without Jey's help, but that's just what a heel champion is. He wins in cheap ways, which makes you hate the character even more. That's just how it is. But Roman's character and everything around him has been top-notch since returning. Everyone that enters his story instantly gets elevated. Everything the character says about the island of relevancy is true. If you're a part of Roman's story, you're in all the headlines. You're beyond relevant. And once you leave his story, you leave that island of relevancy, so to speak. So it's an interesting report to hear that WWE may be dialing it back with Roman's story to pay even more attention on Bianca Belair and Sasha Banks. Bianca and Sasha delivered a historic matchup at WrestleMania, but similar to the rest of WrestleMania card, Bianca and Sasha didn't really have an in-depth storyline to go with the feud, like everyone expected it to have. Bianca Belair even came out for her title celebration, and WWE posted a clip of her promo online, mentioning in the caption of the clip that Bianca Belair was putting the entire SmackDown women's division on notice. One of the first comments from a fan responding to the clip simply said, "What SmackDown women's division?" And that comment is true. The booking for both SmackDown and Raw women's division has been questionable. You can ask yourself, who is Bianca Belair sending a warning to besides Sasha Banks? The SmackDown women's division isn't so well booked and established like that. It's basically just Sasha Banks and now Bayley, who seem to be getting back into the title picture, but that's really it. Carmella is lurking in the background, but her direction is unknown, and the rest of the women's division on SmackDown is pretty much tag teams. So the women's division does seem to be a little chaotic, but we'll see if they can clean things up, especially with this report. But what are your thoughts on today's stories? Leave your comments. Don't forget to subscribe with all notifications on, and leave a like if you enjoyed. Thanks for watching, guys.